Welcome everyone to another episode of Follow the Light Music Review. My name is John De Laurentiis, and this is a special episode regarding a PETRA poll that I did. Now, what I did with this poll is I went on Facebook and I went on a bunch of different Facebook groups that are either PETRA Facebook groups or groups that deal with Christian rock. And what I did is I posed this question: name two of your favorite songs from two PETRA albums from the Greg X Volz years. The first being Never Say Die, and the second being Not of This World. Okay, so in this particular poll, what I did is I ran it for a couple of days to give people ample time to cast their vote on their favorite two songs on this album. And not everyone gave two songs. Some people only gave one for each one. Some only gave one for one. But I tallied all the votes together over the 2 days, and I ended up with about 257 votes for this. In fact, yeah, that's what the total was. 257 total votes. So a good representation of PETRA fans weighing in on these two albums and their two favorite songs. So we're going to get into the results. We'll count them down, and we'll talk a little bit about these albums. I'll show you the versions I have here, which are the Legends of Rock reissues from Girder, which if you don't have them, they are expertly done. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, I would like to encourage you to please support my channel by subscribing, like the video, comment below, and if you didn't get a chance to be a part of the poll in the Facebook group, you can weigh in now in the comments of this video, telling me what your two favorite songs are from PETRA's Never Say Die album and your two favorite songs from PETRA's Not of This World. Okay, so also make sure that you also ring the bell so that you are notified of any new content that is added to the channel. All right, so let's talk about these albums. So the first one here, Never Say Die, came out in 1981, and this is the first album where Greg X Volz was a full-fledged member. He was on the previous album, which was Wash Is Whiter then, along with Rob Frazier on that one, and they kind of shared the vocal duties on that one. But this was where he was the full-time official lead singer of PETRA. And of course, he had done some work with PETRA earlier. Remember, he is on the second PETRA album, Come and Join Us. That album, he sings on two songs on that, God Gave Rock and Roll to You, which is a cover of an Argent song written by Russ Ballard. A lot of people think that was written by PETRA, but it actually preceded the PETRA version in 1973 with a version by the band Argent and written by Russ Ballard, who was part of that band, Ballard. So a lot of people think that when Kiss did it, they were covering a PETRA song, but actually Kiss was covering a Russ Ballard Argent song. But he sang on that, and he sang on Woman Don't You Know on that second PETRA album. But here is where he is singing on all of the songs on here, and this is the Girder version of it, part of their Legends of Rock. And this has a nice booklet, as Girder always does, with all the lyrics in here for all the songs. And this one is cool. You're not going to be able to see it here in the video, but there is like a there's like a image behind there. You can't really see it in here, but they put like a clear image that pops out if you have it in front of you from the booklet that has the band name on there. So great album, 1981, Greg X Volz, PETRA years. And then there was an album in between, More Power to You, which is often considered the most popular album or people's favorite album of the Greg X Volz years. So I skipped that one and went to the next one after it, because More Power to You is always the one that's usually talked about a lot, more so than maybe these two. Usually people like all three of them, but More Power to You is probably the most chosen as being their favorite. My actual favorite of the Greg X Volz years is this one, Not of This World. And I think this may be the very first album I got by Petra, so it holds a special place in my heart. But this is, again, the Girder Legends of Rock reissue of it. And again, beautiful booklet inside here. Nice pictures. You have all the lyrics there. And again, there's that Petra that you can't really see. This one you can see it better. Yeah, you see that Petra in the background? That's kind of like there's like a plastic thing in there. That was quite a nice little touch on that. Kind of made it more collectible. And these sound great. Great reissues from Girder. I believe they're still available, but you can certainly check on girdermusic.com to see if they are or not. All right, so these albums have a lot of great songs on them. And I ask, like I said at the very beginning of the video, what are your two favorite from these albums? So I'm going to count them down. And again, this is your results. I did put my vote in there for a couple of songs on these albums here. But outside of my two songs, my two favorites for the two, which I'm not going to tell you right now what they are, this was a chance for Petra fans to sound in what they like the best. Now, I have to say, with Never Say Die, which we'll start with first, every song from the album was chosen. So every song on the album got at least a vote, if not more. And with Not of This World, every song was chosen except for the opening doxology and the closing doxology, understandably. But all the other songs were chosen. So obviously people really like these albums. For me, these albums are from front to back, classic albums, fantastic, hard to choose what songs that you like best on them, because you usually like them all. So let's go into the countdown and see what you, Facebook Petra fans who voted in this poll, thought was your favorite. So we'll count them down by votes, and we'll find out at the end, of course, what hit the number one spot. All right, so starting with Never Say Die, there was actually a tie. So 2 came in at number 9 because they had identical votes. So the tie vote for number 9 from the Never Say Die album was I Can Be Friends With You and Father of Lights. Each of those two songs got 2 votes each. Okay, so they ended up coming in at number 9 as a tie. After that, coming in at number 8 with 7 votes was For Annie. Coming in at number 7 with 8 votes was the title track, Never Say Die. Coming in at number 6 with 9 votes was Killing My Old Man. Coming in at number 5 was Without Him, We Can Do Nothing. Coming in at number 4 was The Coloring Song, and that was 13 votes. And if I didn't give you the tally for Without Him, We Could Do Nothing, it was 12 votes for that one. So 13 votes for The Coloring Song. And of course, The Coloring Song was really the song that put them on the map in terms of popularity, in terms of having a hit. And that was not actually even a song written by Bob Hartman, who wrote the majority of the songs, and Greg X Volz always contributed a couple songs as well. But The Coloring Song was written by Dave Eden. And it was actually a song that came from the Greg X Volz earlier band, and it was brought over into Petra. And that one came in at number 4. So now we're down to the top 3. So for the album Never Say Die, what are the top 3 vote getters? All right, coming in at number 3 with 18 votes is Chameleon. Great song. That was one of my choices. Coming in at number 2 with 23 votes was Praise Ye the Lord. And what is the number 1 top vote getter for the Never Say Die album? It was Angel of Light, coming in at number 1 with 35 votes given. And that was also the one I chose from that album as well. So my vote is included in that as well. So that is your number one favorite song, according to the people who voted on this, Angel of Light, number one with the most amount of votes from the Never Say Die album. All right, so let's move on to the Not of This World album. Coming in at number 9 with 5 votes was Lift Him Up. Coming in at number 8 with 6 votes was Occupy. Now that was one of mine that I had chosen of my favorite, of the 2 songs on here that I chose as my favorite. Occupy was one for me. Coming in at number 7 with 7 votes was Pied Piper. Coming in at number 6 with 9 votes was Not of This World, which I was kind of surprised that one didn't raise up higher in there. That's definitely one of my favorite songs on there, but that came in at number 6. Coming in at number 5 was Not By Sight with 11 votes. Blinded Eyes came in at number 4 with 12 votes. Okay, so now we're again at the top 3. So what are your 3 favorite songs in this poll among Petra fans from the Not of This World album? Well, coming in at number 3 was Bema Seat with 16 votes. Coming in at number 2 with 24 votes was God Pleaser. So that leaves only one song left on the album, coming in at number 1 with 38 votes, which received the most amount of votes between the 2 albums of any song between these 2 albums, and that's Grave Robber. Grave Robber came in at number 1, and that was also my pick as well. I had picked Grave Robber and Occupy for this album, and so Grave Robber came in at number 1 as your favorite in here. So this was a fun poll, and maybe I'm going to do another one that I'll post on the channel as well with the John Schlitt years. I'll choose a couple albums there and do another Facebook poll and then give you the results. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Again, this is your votes. You know, I contributed 1 vote to it, but this is basically your choices for these 2 great albums from the Greg X Volz years. So I hope you enjoyed that. And again, leave comments below. If you weren't able to be a part of this Petra poll, you can still weigh in with your comments. Leave a comment below this video, and I'll see what how you think your favorites came out in terms of the list and how it came out again. So, all right. So again, as I always say at the end of every video, please follow the light that shines out of the darkness. God bless everyone.